Let's make sure the stream is working. I don't think it is yet, but we will see. Streaming video manager. Ba-doop doop doo. Live streaming. Okay, we've got a stream. That's going well. We're going to... Is it actually live? I think it's live. How do I see it? I'm still not very good at this. There was like a manager. Pop out chat. I don't want that. Hey there, chat. And how do I... no, crap. Videos? Nope. Last time I had to like publish it separately. I think that's what I need to do. Video manager. Live streaming. Events. Here we go. This one. Oh, there we go. Back. Is this actually live now? One watching? Okay. Go back. Cool. Okay. Twitter. Get over here. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Chat. Yeah. We'll see. I'm using 2 monitors this time. Yay! You can hear me? See me? It's working? There's usually a huge delay. I'm using 2 monitors this time. Before, you can hear me? Sweet. Before I had the chat on the main monitor, and then you could stream the chat, and that was kind of unfortunate. Cool. I'm pretty sure it's working. I'm going to switch back over here. All right. Sweet. So, last time, there's a link if you want to watch. I worked on the server for like an hour and a half, and then worked on it another multiple hours. You can see Canvas. I did a lot of stuff. So I mainly just worked through the API and TDD'd the stuff. So I was also going to listen to music this time. Yeah. Cool. That's why I'm wearing headphones. So YouTube doesn't freak out about the... it's kind of hard to hear myself think with the headphones. Not do that. I did it before, and YouTube's like, you listen to all these songs, so we're going to hide the audio, which is a bummer. Anyway, worked on all this stuff, and there's still some more things to do. Like this one specifically is going to be a big one, and delete. Those two need to happen. And these, but I figured I'd get sign-in and stuff working first, and then list and create documents, some of the CRUD stuff with just the main documents, and then kind of go from there. So yeah, let's get started on iOS. Oops. Cool. I always use the iPhone SE as my simulator because it takes up less screen space. Yep. Cool. So, yay, it works. I'd like to work on the smoothing some. You can see there's definitely some issues with it. And like right here, that's weird. But for now, it's good enough. So cool. That's all you can see now. There's no accounts or anything. So let's work on that. I'm going to make a new framework and do it all in there. Because eventually this will be separate and I'll have it on Mac. So I'm going to make as much of this portable as possible. We'll call this Ink Kit. A couple people said they hate the name Ink, but whatever. I like it personally. If you have a better idea, though, leave it in the chat, because I'd love to hear. Cool. So I always restructure my projects in a way that doesn't matter, but is important to me. I'll do like the SPM layout, so it's down the road. It would be easier to use. Also, I just like the cleanliness. So that's what I do. Also, I always forget to do this. And I'll move that into support. Cool. Get rid of those. I'll usually add tests separately and change this. So when you add files to it in the future, it defaults to the right target better. Doesn't always work, but sometimes. That's always pretty buggy in Xcode. Just gotta set up all the stuff again. Take my watch off. All right. It's getting serious now. No watch. Cool. Clean that up. I just like to import with a module instead of use the pound import. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We got some tests. Let's clean those up. I never add testable if possible because I want to keep those things private. Cool. And I'll make final because it doesn't matter, but whatever. Cool. And this should already be set up. Target dependency. Yep. Link. And embed. Awesome. That always, or usually just works, which is really nice. Very few things, and I guess I don't need the headphones. It's not listening to music. Very few things just work, it seems, but that always works pretty well. Alrighty, so what we're going to need to do is set up some stuff. Okay. I'm tempted to rewrite a keychain. I'm like really tempted to put cross work right now. It's funny, like in my side projects, I usually don't work on iOS code, or Mac or whatever, because that's what I do during the day. I'm kind of sick of it. It's just like all these boring problems of how do I store the current user and how do I set up my networking, and it's so tedious. I've done this like so many times, it's just like not fun anymore. I'm kind of tempted to research like GraphQL or something and do something fancy. On the other hand, I want to ship this as fast as I can, so doing that totally doesn't matter. I'd rather just like do it the way I know how to do it and be done with it. So, cool. By the way, I'm glancing at the chat every so often, so if there's anything you want me to like talk more about, or you have a question, or want to say hey, please do it. Yeah, I think the streaming, which is like totally off topic here, the streaming helps a bit to like stay focused because I can't like play on Twitter or whatever, and it makes it a little more interesting. It's not just like boring sitting at my desk and typing at 11 at night. Cool. So I guess we'll do a count first. I'm really tempted to refactor the API, but I'll not do that yet. So public struct account Ha. Hey, man. I like that guy. So I'll have an access token, and we'll say we'll have a user. And we'll make a user. Oops. Get out of here. I think I'll make them all immutable, and if you update a user, you'll have to do it atomically, which I think makes sense. I always do given and family name for localization. There's some RFC or something that says you're supposed to do that. I don't know what it is. I have biography for some weird reason. I should really get rid of that. Whatever. And ID. That's important. Cool. We'll put email in here as well. Cool. I usually do a count. I mentioned this last time, but in case you haven't seen it, account will be all the stuff that's like private to you. So I have like access token and email, and then it'll own a user, and then all users are the same. So there's never like a user with like extra stuff if it's you. I don't find that. I find that to be like very messy, especially with optionals. It works really well to have this be modeled this way, I think. Currently the database is not like this, but I'll probably change it. So yeah. Anyway. Yes. I think I'm gonna use my JSON framework because I'm a fan of that. Which means I'll have to add Carthage, but that's okay. And we'll do. Don't want to do this yet. Yeah, I'll need it. Okay. GitHub, Sophos, JSON, Carthage update. Cool. I'll bring in the build folder. Again, I do more of this like umbrella stuff or like very specific folder picking for like easier Xcode completion down the road. Oops, there we go. Cool. So, and I always have to Google this. Where'd it go? No, over here. Fine. This is why I don't use two displays. The embed Carthage step. Cool. Get out of here. All right. So yeah, I guess let's do it. Well, first, so torn. Well, I'm gonna import it, and we can. Yeah, I guess we'll just get started. Okay. Can you tell I've really been avoiding working on this exact thing? Cool. I think if you're not going to use something like protobufs, this makes it pretty painless. Cool. And then this needs to be copied into user. If you're interested, it's github.com/Sophos/JSON. And it's probably the Swift code I'm most proud of. It's pretty dang cool. And this will be given name. I always split. Oops, spell that right. I always split given name and family name because it's basically impossible to split them if you only ask for one. And if you ever wanted to display like "Hi Sam" instead of "Hi Sam Sophus," you have to do this. So that's why I'm doing that. I read some like well-researched paper on this a while back, which is again such a nerdy thing to read a paper on. Basically, it's impossible to split username. What does it do? Oh, it wants me in public. Yep. Same for here, I bet. Cool. One of my errors. Couldn't read the info P list. Yep, because I moved it. That would do it. Choose that one. And this one, move to. I always like to change this. Cool. That works. There's 4 warnings. Get stuff. I wish Xcode wouldn't do that. And this one doesn't work for some reason. That doesn't make sense. There we go. Cool. Very important step here. I'm embarrassed I didn't already have one. Need to write something better there. Building. This is probably so boring to watch, but whatever. Documenting how to like get the app running if you have anything non-standard, I think is really important. Oh, I had one more link, I guess. I don't really. Shazad asked if I have a naming convention for assets. Not really. I honestly don't use that many assets. Usually it's only icons. And I'll just name them like what they are pretty simply. If there's multiple sizes, I'll like append the size. So, if there is, so I have like, user and gear or something, and then maybe I have like gear small if there's like a small version somewhere else, but rarely will I name everything like that. Cool. Yeah, this is probably boring for the designers. What am I doing? Yes, let's share some schemes because that's important. And I was about to do something else. What was it? Man. Ugh, this is killing me. I was just about to do something. well, whatever. I'll keep working on this. I was going to write some tests. That's what I was going to do. But I'll keep doing this for now. Okay, so I never use AF networking or anything like that because it seems like overkill to me. But it definitely does some good stuff. So, I don't know. I'm always torn because I end up writing a lot of stuff around this. But I'm not torn enough to try it right now. I want to keep the unknowns small as I'm trying to do this fast. This is so tedious. So I usually make network client, which is like an abstract one, and it has some really basic stuff, and then everything else is like inherits from that. So I'll make a new one that's authorization client. I've done this in like a bunch of apps, and this one will be it's used to like get authorization. The 3 slashes instead of 2 means it's documentation. So if you option click it, it has that message, which is cool. So this one's going to have a function for so geez. That cannot be spelled right. Sweet. What's that? What are you angry about? Yes, you are correct. So I usually do result. I'm tempted to import the real result. I never have before, but I'm intrigued. No, I want less dependencies. I'm not going to do it. So I make a generic enum, and we'll say success, and that has a T, and failure has an error. I think it's of like that. So, yeah, you have like a generic success and error. which I think is kind of cool. There's a bunch of the real ones, like much nicer, but this one will definitely do. So we'll always return a result with an account. So this may be false, and that's fine. And I don't usually. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna have it. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna have really robust error stuff for now. It doesn't matter. It failed as an man, for sign in of all places. You really want it because you want to know is the username wrong, or is the network down, whatever. And also, like, for sign up, is the username taken, or is the password too short, whatever. You need a good way to send errors. Okay, fine, we'll freaking do it. The thing is, Sam asks if I still work on whiskey. I actually restarted on it recently, but it's so much work, and it will my goal is to do something that will sort of make money in the short term to help pay the bills, and whiskey will never be there. Yeah. So this is gonna be an error. I don't know how I'm gonna structure this yet, but I'll figure it out. Okay. I hate this so much. This is just not fun at all. I've written this a bunch of times, and most recently I wrote this for a client, and I'm pretty happy with that implementation, but I can't just copy it because it's for a client. I have to redo it. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna sketch this out. Thanks. Okay. I need a way to send an arbitrary error back. So, it could just be a system error. This gives me back just an error, and who knows what it is. The server was down or whatever. Or you don't have Wi-Fi or those sort of errors. There's errors for you got a 500 from the server, or you got a 401 or that sort of thing, and those need to be handled and structured. Because if it's a 401, I need to handle that differently. And then I need something for if it's a specific error, I want to know about that as well. So, you know what? I think I'm just going to send back a generic error, and then some calls will have an associated error enum, and I can as check it in the application. I think that's going to work. And I don't need this. What am I doing? Okay. Jeez. I'm going to rename this, though. Okay. Okay. So, I usually like to do... I'll make types and put them at the top if I'm going to have nested types. But I don't think I'm going to make... I'll do it here. I was considering not making them nested because they'd have a long name, but it's fine. I don't actually care about this one. I just care about sign up. I'm just procrastinating. Okay, I'm just going to do this. We'll come back to it. Okay. I need to make this function here. I'm going to make it internal because I don't want anyone else making network calls. We'll call it request. We'll call it build request. And it's going to take a path and a method. I'll make that in a second. And parameters. That'll be a JSON dictionary. This is going to return a request. So this doesn't seem like a good resource. There we go. I'm on the big list. This one? Good enough. Check this out. So Sublime is the best. We can do this, and then there's like lowercase. So great. Love that. Man, how efficient was that? Sublime. I like Sublime a lot. I'll make this a string. Okay. So we'll default to get because it's pretty common, I bet. And we'll make this optional and make it nil by default. So request is going to be a request. Oh, it wants a URL request. That's why. There we go. This is going to take a URL. So we'll say base URL by appending path component path. Pretty great. Return request. Request HTTP method is method dot raw value. And import JSON. We'll say for now only do parameters on I'll do it up here. I'll do it here. Okay. Query items is an array of URL query item. That's nil. So it's silly this is optional. Should really not be. Components, URL, query items. Is that not it? It's truly ridiculous. I'm going to make this actually non-optional and equal to empty. That seems better. Cool. Then if let okay. Okay. And then if method accepts body, seems fine. We'll make a thing up here. I think those are the ones. Whatever. Good enough for now. It's dumb that I'm writing this. I fully agree. No one said that. I'm just yelling at myself. Yes. So now we'll say great. So okay. Let me flip this as well. Cool. Good enough. Okay. And now we'll do request with these same things. And we'll just forward those along and then have a completion of something that we'll come back to. Okay. So this is going to say request build request method path query items parameters. This can actually be private. And now we're going to say session data task. There we go. So this is going to have a data URL response and an error. Cool. We could actually make this, I think I'm going to make it a result with a optional data and a response. That's cool because it'll either be, if there's an error, the others will be nil, and if there's not an error, it'll have a response. So now I can like take out 2 nils or 2 optionals, which is pretty cool. And I forgot a parenthesis. And there we go. So that's a cool use for a tuple. So with request, and this will be data response error. Gotta get those tweets in. I will make the font bigger next code. Thanks for asking. Is that the only one? Yeah. 18? Ooh, that's pretty big, but I'll do it. Just for you guys. Okay. So get rid of that and get rid of that. Cool. Okay. Good suggestion. So, yes, I'm going to make the request. I'm I'm commenting this more than I normally would, but talking about it helps. Send request. Oops, there's a problem. Good. And then here, completion, failure, error. The problem is this may not, I'm not guaranteed this isn't nil here. I don't have like a generic error. I guess I'll make one. Because I'll add more stuff here later. I already have types. Enum error, which is a Swift error, and unknown. Talk about useless. Or error dot unknown. Ridiculous. I'll make this optional to avoid that. I have to either add non-escaping or that, so I'll do that. And now I have to do questions since this is optional. Okay. So pretty simple network client, 100 lines, and most of it's this method thing. So now in here we can say request. Oh, I'm going to make, I usually do this. I'll make path not have a label. Yeah. So let's pull to the API documentation. Big fan of documentation. Okay. 17. Oh, dang. Cool. So, get out of here. All right. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I didn't update that. Let's update it real quick. Wrap. My S key isn't working very well. Weird. Let's double check that. Account, controller, login, password. Great. Okay. I'm gonna refactor this. Cool. Let's run the tests. Make sure I didn't break anything. And it did. Fantastic. Oh, because this is self. That's why I always run the tests. And that was a work in progress thing from before, so I'm okay with it. And let's do it here too. I bet that broke a test. I'm actually going to do one more thing. And then I'll only include the access token if you've just signed in. Otherwise, I'm not going to. And I'll add a test for that. Great. Great. Okay. Cool. All right. Enough of Rails. Yay, docs. Oops. There we go. Okay. So this is going to be access tokens. Is it hyphenated? Gosh darn it. Should be. Yep. That's much better. Oops. Okay. So we're going to post to. I feel bad omitting the label there, but I feel like it's so much cleaner. So I'm just going to do it. And we're going to do parameters. I'm going to make this its own variable. Oh. Per usual, you need that or it won't do anything. Cool. So, start. Thank you. Someone said my desktop was so clean. Case success. And this is a response. No, this is a data in response. I might need a parenthesis there. We'll see. I'm sure I will, actually. Really? That's super cool if that works. Fantastic. I didn't know you could do that. That's great. It's a tuple, so I didn't think that would work, but I guess since there's only one attribute to the, it works. Fantastic. All right, let's write some tests because I just wrote a lot of code and haven't tested it. Yes, tests. Okay. Well, we'll commit this first, I guess. Command P is quick find and Sublime for me, so I hit it a lot on accident. I'm doing it more than usual though tonight, because you never print, and Command P is right in a good spot. It's next to the tab switcher keys. All right. Let's test building requests, I guess. So we need to make that not private. I'm okay with it since it's mostly internal stuff. Func test build request. Cool. So client build request will say get me, and we'll delete those, and we'll assert equal that request one.url equals let's make sure this works. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Weird. Sometimes it doesn't get set up. It drives me nuts that this icon's blue. It's the thing for my audio interface. You can't quit it if you want audio to come out of it. Really sucks. Did that pass? Yeah, it passed. All right. So we're going to test a basic one. We'll test one with parameters. I'm never sure what granularity to do. Let's do it here. I always bang in tests because it'll fail if it is nil either way. So there's no sense in guarding and failing because it's redundant. And those send, and let's check one more thing, which is query items. I'll spell it out, I guess. going to be request 3, and we're going to say that the URL equals how many insertions? Gosh, frustrating. I'm trying to make sure it actually ran that new test. Doesn't say. All right, well, I think it did. No reason it wouldn't. Really like that I had tests for this. Okay, so let's test actually making the request. So we can do that. We'll make a fake session. My S is really not working. Pretty frustrating. Especially typing fake success session. Jeez. That is hard to say. All right. So basically this one's just going to return 200 no content, or 204 I guess, for everything it comes in, and just store an array of the things it made. Let's just make a fake session first, actually. We'll just do this. Fake success is fine. All right. No. We'll do this instead. Fake session. So this is just going to store an array of requests it gets, and we'll initialize it with a handler. Cool. I like that. Did we do that the other way here? I think we did. I want the response to be first because that makes more sense. I'll change that over here. Which totally doesn't matter at this point, but hey. All right. I'm going to type alias this. Since results is in Inkscape, this got put in the wrong module. Need to be in here. And what are you complaining about? Again. That's a weird code. All right, so that's easier because now we can type handler without typing that massive boilerplate. Oops. So we'll just do data tasks for now. Data task with that one. All right. So we will, and we want with URL or with data task with this one. Okay. So we'll say requests, append request. And now we will results equals handler request. And we'll switch on results. That's pretty cool. I'm very proud of this. Okay. Oh, and you call super. What's your problem? No. Okay. So here we can test requesting. I'll just do. Okay. So we're going to make a session, and this is going to be a fake session. And its handler is going to be results or requests. Results in. I think you don't need those. Maybe you do. You don't? Weird. Why is that purple? Oh, yeah, you definitely do. Okay. I was right. That should work. And it doesn't. There's an error of some sort. What's the error? Sure. What's your deal? I didn't return. I think I need types. That sucks. There's probably a shorthand for this, but I don't know of it. Result is a URL response and a data. Does that work? Oh, I have to return a task. That's right. So I'll make a fake task, and this is going to be private. Nope. I feel like I should type alias this. I'm going to. I'm going to do it right now. Clean that up a bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a fake task here. This is going to take a result. That's a network result. And a init result is going to be a network result. And it's going to save it as its result. So tedious. Super init. Okay. Does this work? I feel like this may have some required initializer. No, that worked. Great. Okay. So now we are going to make a task, and this is going to be a task with a result, and we'll just skip a step here. And we'll just return this. And then when you call resume on it, that'll get called. That completion block will get called with this result. So I need to change this. Okay. Really, I don't care what it is. It's just a void, and I'll do the logic elsewhere. Because I don't want this to know. I usually do parens. I'll do parens. It's a void. Okay. No, this doesn't need one, though. Right? I don't know. Oh, this is a colon. Okay. So this is going to be all of that stuff I had before. It's always dangerous doing a bunch of undos. Get here. So we have our handler, which is going to be our results. We can just switch on it directly. And we'll call this completion handler then. So cool, that should work. This is a lot of complicated stuff for a mock or whatever, but I'm alright with it. Yeah. That's fine. We need to explicitly retain ourselves. I'm okay with that. No, I won't. I'm going to do it ahead of time. I'll do it this way. That way it's, if you wanted to have, like, check the state of things, that would still work. Okay. So I did all this work. This is a pretty cool thing. I need to put that in a framework and open source it because that's handy. I have 30 people watching me type this. That is crazy. Okay. So we make a fake session. We're just always going to return this, and that's fine. I don't actually care what it does. That was a lot of work to just like no op. Cool. So we're going to make a client, and this is going to... I'm just going to make this a thing because it doesn't matter. Big fan of marks. Base URL is base URL, and session is our session, which is a fake session, which is cool. So now we're going to say client friggin' S. Okay, we don't actually even care what's returned for this test. We want to ensure that the client actually makes requests. So now we can say this, essentially. So request, let request equals session requests dot first, and that should work. And it does not. Now our client request. All of these should be optional. Why are they not? Missing argument for parameter number 2. I guess I'll delete this. So now we have path is the only thing that doesn't have a label. That should work. What was your deal? Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's confused with 2 optional labels. One's a weird type. It can't know. Great. Okay, so that's really cool. We actually tested that the a request here would actually hit the network and do this and make a request with those parameters. So if we were to delete the resume and run it, it should fail. Crap. Well, there goes my awesome thing. Oh, we need to make sure it's succeeded before we add it to the client. Okay, that's what's important. So here we can say fakes. So why don't we make another one for like completed requests? Or interactions. And we'll make an interaction as a URL request and a network results. A lot of tuples, but you know, whatever. I'm okay with it. So interactions will be an array of interactions, and then when it finally completes, we can append request and result. And that means we'll need to make this a thing. I'll actually do this first. Okay. Should fail now, which is what we want. Oh no, we're still checking that. We want to check the interactions now. So it's just going to store requests that we have received. So we want to say interactions dot first dot zero to get the actual request, which is cool. So this code's kind of gross. I'm going to comment this because I'm not going to remember. So great. Okay. See, like I'll even document like random fake helpers in tests. Like if there's anything non-standard, I want to know. Great, and that's fantastic. We crashed because we never actually ran the request. So now we should be able to add this back and run the test, and it should pass. Come on, simulator. What's the deal? There we go. Yay, and it works. Okay. So I think it's fantastic that I've ensured I'm using URL session the way I intend, without ever launching the app for real. It's all tests. So I think that is pretty sweet. Okay. I'm going to change this back to requesting because this is build. I don't know. No, it's fine. I agree, Kevin. Cool. Okay. What am I going to work on? This has not been a very productive. I mean, I got some stuff set up, but I'd hope to like have things working. Let's test this, and then I'll hook up some UI. So DVR is this network testing library I wrote when I worked at Venmo. And don't get me wrong, other people helped, but I was the principal author on it at the time when I was there. Now, Eli Perkins is taking over most of the work, which is fantastic because I don't really add stuff to it ever. I mean, for my use, it's done. So actually, we'll make this a separate thing. There's some requests in the chat to do more interesting things, like hook up UI. Cool. All right. I'm going to do authorization client test. I'm going to test one more thing. We're going to hook up some UI. Oh, thanks, guys. There's some people seem to like watching me do this, which is cool. It actually helps, like, talking through it out loud. So, yeah, not the end of the world. All right. I mean, not that it was bad in the first place. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. DVR, and we're going to import testable. No, we don't need testable here. We're just going to import ink kit. Okay. Okay. So we're going to func test. I thought I turned those off. Well, yay, my package comes tomorrow. Test, test creating, test signing in. So we're going to make a new client. And this is going to be an authorization client. This is going to have a base URL of I'll do this, I guess. if I was going to work on DVR some more, I'd want to add some more robust like command line tools, or there's not any now, but add some command line tools for like recording and managing recordings and redacting stuff and all that sort of thing. Like the workflow for actually using it can definitely be improved. The actual Swift code, I think, is all that I need. I mean, there's definitely some more things you could do, but I don't really care about that. Okay, and we're going to make a session for it, and this is going to be a session. We're going to call this... So the way DVR works is you make a session. It's a DVR session. You give it a name, so we're going to call this sign in. And now it'll use this fake URL session for everything and do a real one behind it and record to a JSON file. So then when you run the test again, it just plays back from what it recorded, and you don't have to actually hit the API or the network every time, which is awesome. So we're going to make a new expectation. Expectation. And that is a that'll do it. Come on. Ugh. It's not even Swift. So what's the deal? Yeah, okay. So we'll just say my test credentials and result in... Okay, I really want an expectation. Is that not what it's called? What is the deal? Oh, yep. Put it in the wrong target. Thanks, Xcode. There we go. Network. So if we just run this like without the expectation, it'll just like complete right away, because this block will never run because the networking can't run. So we'll say fulfill in here, and now the control flow is finished. So then we'll have to wait for expectations, and we'll just give it a second, and we can delete that. So that's how you do async stuff in tests. Pretty cool. So we're going to switch on results, case success, and this is going to be an account, which we haven't written any of this yet. And we're going to assert that that Sophus is the account.user.username. And we're going to assert that access token. Well, no. I was going to assert that it's not nil, but that's useless because it's Swift, and we have that for free, because types. Types are the best. Failure, let error, XCT fail, and the message is great. Okay, so this is going to fail. I'm not going to run it. I need a colon here because we need... No, it will. I already wrote this. Man, that JSON framework is so fast, I forgot that I wrote that code. I freaking love this framework. It's so good. All right. Cool. So let's run it. I'm having more fun. At the beginning, I was a little not looking forward to this. What happened here? Couldn't... Oh, yes. So this is linked with the tests, but I need to actually add it to the binary. So... So, in an iOS app, you have like the copy script thing. That's just for the App Store. It strips like extra architectures, so it doesn't have the simulator in there. For other things like the tests, which obviously will not go to the App Store. It doesn't matter. You can just do a regular copy. Failed to record a response because it returned a nil response. Huh. Because of app transport security. That'll do it. So let's fix that. And I can never remember the keys. Useless. No, gosh, I just want the documentation. Is it here? Here we go. Okay, see if that works. Yay, recorded. So this recorded the test to a file, so I'm just going to CD into InkKit. Kit support. Fixtures, CP dots. Okay. And try again. And it failed. Why did it fail? Let's see if this worked. Response? Got a 404. That'll definitely do it. V1. Forgot about V1. So it'd be great if there was a way to just like mark this for re-recording, and then it would just do it next time. So like delete it, do it, and go do it again, and add it back. Anyway. Yeah, Kevin, all of those build settings are, it's just like no one knows them. You just have to like Google them, and eventually after years of repetition, you'll just like remember them. It's such an unfortunate like thing to have to learn. Also, like all the error messages related to that are just like usually pretty useless. So it's hard to know what you're doing wrong. And it's still not working. Response. Still getting a 404. I'm posting to access tokens. I should check it before I do it. That'd be another cool command if it like could pretty print the output. Access token. That makes sense because it's a singular resource, not a plural resource. All right. Joshua asks, resources for starting out. I'd probably go with Treehouse, teamtreehouse.com. I taught some stuff there a while back. Don't watch any of the stuff I taught. It's super old now. I think it's Objective-C even. It's like super old. Or whatever. I mean, it's kind of like college. I didn't go to college, but it's kind of like the I know a lot of people. I've interviewed a lot of people that went to college and didn't and failed my interview terribly, and then several people that either didn't go to college at all or you know did whatever, and were good because they worked hard outside of school. So it's just like any of them you can start and try, and if it's like you're trying hard, if the content sucks, you can still get good, or if even the content's awesome, you can still not be good. So you just have to work hard. I think Treehouse is a good way to get started. There's probably other ones. It's just pick one you like. It doesn't really matter. Why is this not working? So it says here my credentials are invalid. I have a test for this. Maybe my credentials are not what I expect them to be. User.first, sam.password. Okay, that worked. Let's just try it again, I guess. Kevin also recommends Treehouse. It's cool. Yeah, I know. Amit is their teacher over there. Super great guy. He just posted a thing the other day. They redid a bunch of stuff for Swift 3, which is great. Also, Passan is fantastic. He's also working on it too. Still getting invalid credentials. Maybe I'm not posting them correctly. Let's figure this out. And this is why we write tests. Because if we were doing this from the UI, it would be a lot harder to see what's happening. Yeah. Okay. So I think part of it might be we're building the request wrong. So let's add some default headers. Normally I'd make this configurable, but I'm not going to need it in this app, so I'm not going to. So I may I'd like to open source this generic framework for making a network client at some point, which I guess is what's the point if you could just use AF networking, which is a lot more robust, but whatever. I don't know. This is how I like to do it. Cool. Joshua, I know he just tweeted something yesterday or the day before that was a big blog post on getting started. So you may check that out. See if it's useful. I could look at the Rails logs. That'd probably be faster. And it doesn't say... Oh, 200. So I think it worked. Let's try it. And looks like it worked. Yeah. Kevin says it would be louder than AF networking. It would definitely be louder than AF networking. I have nothing against them. I've hung out with Matt a bunch, even though he's kind of gone from the internet now. I thought I consider him a very good friend. I haven't talked to him in a long time though. Anyway, big fan of that stuff. It's just a bit heavy for me, especially with URL session being so nice. It's just convenient stuff. I don't know. It's probably stupid. I should probably just use AF networking, but I've been doing it like this for years, so that's what I'm gonna do. Upgrading from whichever version that didn't have URL session to the version that did was really painful. I was like, screw it, I'll just use the Apple stuff, and I haven't used it since. Just because it had a hard time figuring out how to upgrade a really large code base that was using it. I'm getting sidetracked. What was I doing? I was going to add this to my project. Okay. Like that. And we're going to add it here to the right target. We're going to rerun the tests, and they're going to pass. And They didn't. What is the deal? I don't think it actually worked. I need to order some WD-40. That has a terrible sound. Come on, simulator. It's the worst piece of software. That's an exaggeration, but still, the simulator, especially working with continuous integration, is the worst. Sometimes you have to restart your computer to make this work. Okay, good. I was gonna say that would be a real bummer. And it failed. Well, okay. Still not working? Come on. I'll just set it to 2. I don't think this is going to help, but. What? Okay. Let's debug this. Oh. Found it. I'm an idiot. Okay. So. Yep. We were never calling the completion block in the method. So, of course, it was timing out because it never called it. And yeah. Okay. So, let's make some more stuff. I'm going to change this back. In network client, this method returns a network result, which is neat. Let's make one that returns a JSON object, and it'll just use pattern matching. To pick the right one, which I think is cool. Oh, this is actually going to return a JSON D. Come on. That can't be right. I'm not good at spelling. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, this is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to call the other one. So request. Yeah, I spelled that right. Come on. Be a jerk. Method. We're going to forward all these along. Path. Oh, that's just path. Query items. Parameters. And this is going to be a result, which is a network result, and a void. So since we specified the type here, did I forget something? Yep. Since I specified the type, it knows specifically to pick this one, which is cool. And what we can do here is pass in completion is this completion. And now, because this takes a result that is JSON deserializable, this will just work and pattern match to the right one. It should. It says it's ambiguous, but it's not because it's this one specifically. What is the deal? It is JSON deserializable. It's because they're optional. I'm going to delete those and make it escapable. Escaping. Yep. Because you could specify nil for either one. It can't use that as like the pattern match. Like it can't pattern match on it because if it was nil, like it would be It would be the same. So does that make sense? Like if you didn't specify it, you could have an ambiguous reference. So you always have to specify it, and then since it wasn't specifiable, it was like, this doesn't make sense. Anyway, this is the problem with pattern matching, is because it can be really difficult for a human to figure out which one's which, or if there's a problem and it's ambiguous, it's really hard to like see which is which. But when it works, you can write a really sweet line of code like this, and it's still ambiguous. It's really not, I promise. Come on, compiler. Okay, I'm going to add the label here because I don't want that to be part of it, although I really don't think it is. Argument labels do not match, yeah. Okay. It's not. Found this candidate. But why? It's not this type. It's a different type. I know why. Okay. You can probably, I don't know about the optional stuff. I'm just going to get over that. JSON deserializable. And this will be a T. And we're good to go. Yeah. Pattern matching with generics. And this needs to be escaping. Escaping means you may not call it right now, so it'll get called later. Cannot convert. Well, I know. I want you to use the other one. Come on. This is being frustrating. Okay. Okay. We have don't need that one. Okay. We have method, path, core items, parameters. Those all don't matter. We have a T here, and this takes a thing, and this one doesn't. That looks fine to me. I don't know why it wouldn't work. Did I spell this wrong? Oh, I sure did. That's why. And it should work. Build. Why is it not working? Is JSON deserializable? No, our client. JSON deserializable. That takes a T. This is a problem with pattern matching. I could just rename it, but I really don't want to because I think it looks so clean the other way. Oh, I know why. Got it. It doesn't just take a T, it takes a result of a T. Oops. And we're good. Fantastic. Okay. I may remove those labels again. I haven't decided. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch on result here. In case, actually, I think I have this on my clipboard. No, I removed it. Okay. Success is a response and a data to do. And this is a failure with an error. So if it's an error, we're going to say completion failure, and just forward it through. We have to do it again. We can't pass in the same one because it's a different type. Even though that particular case is the same type, it doesn't work like that. It'd be cool if it did though, wouldn't it? So here we're going to do... thanks, Kevin. Here we're going to do... we're going to try to convert the response into the JSON text. So first we're going to say JSON equals data. Come on. Add some more errors over here. So we can say completion, failure. Okay. And so basically we're saying like we're going to check each possible thing that could go wrong and return a like strongly typed error for it so we can find it down the road. Data here. Oh, we also need to... I'm just going to let the data here, but down the road, I'll make a new one. What the heck? Okay. So now we're going to initialize it. And since we have this protocol, we can just do this, which is super cool. And we can catch and do that. What did I do wrong? Do. There it is. Too many programming languages. T, we call it a try. And I never use response, so get rid of that. Okay. So, to me, the cool part about this is the types here and the generic stuff. So you can just do like a really simple line of code here and all this stuff just happens, which I think is awesome. That's kind of my motivation for doing this. And sure, you could build this on top of AF networking, and maybe you should, because they have a lot better like error handling around checking like more complicated things, I guess. Yep, add that back. But completion's required now. Gosh darn it. I'll make the first one optional. That'll be cool. And we'll make that a little prettier. Yeah, that'll work. So I don't know. This pattern matching with generic stuff is like kind of gross, like to try to read through, and like definitely need comments. Otherwise, it's like impossible to see which is which, and they're all like super long. But then when you use it, it's like, man, that is damn cool. All right. So sweet. That actually works, right? I can successfully sign in. That is awesome. All right. As much as I'd like to get to UI tonight, it is 12:30 here Eastern time, so I may go to bed. I feel bad because I said I was going to work on UI, and I didn't. This took longer than I thought. But I'm very pleased with myself with these tests. I think this fake session is really handy. Big fan of that. I'm going to gist it right now in case you're watching and want to use it. Nope. Fake session. Swift. I'm going to call it fake URL session, actually. And I'll rename it in here. And here. You need results. I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Soon. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully this is cool. Thanks for understanding, Kevin. Yeah. I'm really pleased I'm very pleased with the level of test here with the framework so far. I also like that I didn't run the app once, and I feel very confident in the quality of the code. Can I see coverage? Yeah, let's do it. No coverage data. Gosh darn it. Coverage. Enable code coverage support. Oh, I know why. Edit scheme. I think it's in here. Tests. How do you do it? Arguments. No. There it is. Not bad. This, of course, the app doesn't have hardly any. What are we missing in here? How do you see the? It's on the right, I thought. Where's the? Half baked. That's a word I'd use to describe. I didn't test that. Fair enough. Trying to post to a Git should give you an error or something. I didn't test the failure cases. Fair enough. I think it's probably the same here. No. Oh yeah, it's been just that basically. And then yeah, that's the only thing I didn't test is failure cases. I'm okay with that for now. Yeah. Enable code coverage. All right. Well, hopefully this was enjoyable and informative. Yeah. Thanks for watching. This was a good time. Sometime this week, I'll definitely work on the UI, and I'll stream it. So why not? So, yeah. Have a good night. Now you're gonna watch me try to figure out how to turn this off. Thanks, you too, Kevin. How do I? Yeah, oh, I know where I do it. Stop streaming. See ya. Oh, I didn't click the